Hello ladies, gentlemen, and others. My name is Dan, the voice behind that Kaito Dan, and welcome to this very special RWBY news update. Before we go any further though, apologies if I sound a bit rough. I'm currently fighting my yearly, it seems, summer sick spell. So yeah, I'm sounding a bit rough at the moment. That's also why I'm not on camera for this, but as you can imagine, given the news that I'm about to discuss, I have to fight through this sick spell because this is some very special and very important news regarding RWBY. So let's get into it, shall we? So, over in Los Angeles right now is Anime Expo, the biggest anime convention in the West, and at the event is Viz Media, who of course currently own RWBY. They're hosting their usual panel there, and attending the panel was Kerry Shawcross, who is of course the showrunner, one of the lead writers for RWBY, and at the event he showed off, among some other news I'll get into as well, a video that was also posted on the official RWBY Twitter page, and I'll play for you right now its content, so check it out.
Hey fandom, Carrie here. I've been really excited to see RWBY making its way back out into the world for longtime fans and newcomers alike, on digital and streaming and Blu-ray. But I know what you want to know. Where's Volume 10? So I'm very excited to share that we're super deep in early writing and planning. I know it's been a long journey, and we're incredibly grateful for your patience up to this point, especially knowing that there's still a long road ahead. But for now, I want to thank the fandom for sticking with us as we keep moving forward. More soon.
So there you have it. RWBY Volume 10 is currently deep in early writing and planning, which essentially means RWBY Volume 10 is indeed now in development, or greenlit, however you want to word it. Pre-production, something like that. That has been something I have seen some people kind of unsure, like what this exactly means in terms of the production pipeline. The way I see it is, yeah, I think RWBY Volume 10 technically is greenlit because without that writing and planning, everything else that follows doesn't happen. You don't get the animation, obviously, and the voice acting, the music, but you also don't have like an idea of how many episodes you need, how long they will go on for, all the set pieces that you're going to need, and so on and so forth. It's the way I see it is essentially this is now the runners coming up to the starting gate before they're allowed to do the marathon sprint. So yeah, this is major news, and alongside this post was confirmations from Eddie Rivas and Kirsty Burkhardt, previous writers of course for RWBY, that they are involved. Kirsty even mentioning that she's looking forward to putting us through the ringer, it seems, once more. And while Miles Luna, who is also another writer of course, and lead co-creator for the series, he hasn't outright confirmed his involvement. He did retweet the post, which I feel like is his way of confirming it as well, and it would be a strange situation where he is not involved, considering like his connections and history with the show, beyond obviously voicing Jean Arc. So I imagine he's involved as well, which is very good news to have the most familiar writers of the series back on the show. And this is actually really well-timed news because just this time last year, we also had the announcement that RWBY was acquired in the first place by Viz Media. Coincidentally, that date as well is also the same date that the first episode of RWBY was first premiered at RTX. So this seems to be a very fitting time for some big RWBY developments. First episode comes out and then acquired by Viz, and now this big update on RWBY 10's Volume 10's future. And this also came with some additional news in regards to the ongoing streaming of the past volumes. Just yesterday, Hulu finally got all 9 volumes, and us international fans were finally invited along for the ride as well, because on July 8th, Apple TV will have all 9 volumes, although only in some select countries so far. I'll put the article's listing of them on the screen right now for you to see, but they did mention for us to keep our eyes peeled for further updates, so Those of us mainly in like some of the main European countries who haven't been listed should keep an eye out for any updates there for when we will start to get some of it as well. But I guess now we can start discussing Volume 10 and when exactly are we going to get it now that we are starting to get the gears moving. And this is where I really want to put a stress down for everyone. I really don't think we're going to get it next year. I think it is way too early for us to get a whole new volume on this size and scale that we're going to get within the span of a year. Because keep in mind, this is a whole new era for RWBY. Considering this is going to be the first volume under the Viz umbrella and without the familiar RT animation studio behind it. We're gonna get a whole new animation studio involved, gonna be a whole lot of new faces, and considering where Volume 9 left off and what it was setting up, we're gonna have new assets, new settings, new character models for some returning faces. There's a lot of work that needs to be done just on the visual front, and then of course everything behind it, like the budgeting needs to be sorted out for how many episodes we're gonna get, all the music and the voice acting needs to be recorded, and it is gonna take a fair amount of time to get all of that done before we can even get, I feel, a confirmation on an actual release window. If I had to put my flag down on anything, I would maybe want to say springtime 2027, and you know what, that is fine by me. We have waited this long for any kind of update on RWBY after that dark period where it feels like nothing was going to be coming for the series after Rooster Teeth's closure, and this is good news. I would rather have a volume 10 come in 2027 than 2026, because that would more likely lead to a rushed development, struggles on the creation side where it could actually affect the animators, the voice actors and all that. I would rather have a refined Volume 10 than a rushed Volume 10. So straight away I'm just saying right now, please be patient with these guys, not just in terms of when we'll get our next update, but actually getting Volume 10. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to get anything RWBY related until 2027 or whenever we do get Volume 10, because there's also all the side material that we can get as well, and I think that would be a good avenue to fill in the gaps once again. I would love for us to get a new novel, especially if we can get E.C. Myers back on, because he's said before that he would love to return to the series and write for it again, and he's proven well enough in his past works that he does do a great job with this world and its characters, so I would love to see a return from him as well. And me personally, one of the biggest things that I would want to see in the future is a brand new character short / trailer that leads into Volume 10. Think back to Volume 4. That was also a brand new era for RWBY, not just in terms of like in narrative sense, but in production wise as well. This was the first time that we're going to be expanding outside of Vale and into the world of Remnant as a whole. We also, of course, had the major shift where this would be the first volume without Monty. And obviously it was also the engine swap between Poser to Maya. There was a lot of shifting gears going on around that time, and we got a Volume 4 short, kind of like a breathing room that crossed the bridge between the initial era of RWBY into the new one. I think something like this would be a great bridge then for Volume 9 into Volume 10 by giving us a small glimpse of what's to come. It could be perhaps a readaptation of what was given to us via the scrapped and then animatic version of the original Volume 9 epilogue, where we got to see the Vacuo survivors and everyone over there, how they were handling things post Volume 9's events that led into Team RWBY's return from the Ever After. We could get something adapted from that as a short version this time to then bridge into Volume 10, because keep in mind, that would be good not just for us fans who would want to have something leads into the next volume, but it would also be good for new fans or people who have maybe fallen out of love with RWBY in the past but are interested in this new era. Give us something that would provide narrative and character hook crumbs for those of us who have been here all this time waiting to see the next chapter of the story, and also appeal to those who are looking for an interesting hook to drag them into or back into RWBY as a whole, to then check out all the previous volumes that came before, maybe even give us like a small summary of what did happen in past volumes, but not the full breakdown, so that incentivizes people to check out the full volumes. So yeah, that would be my direction, at least for this bridge period now between Volume 9 and Volume 10. Give us a short that can entertain us, but also tease us, and be that good promotional material for the show that we do need as we get into the first RWBY and Viz volume of the show. But yeah, that is everything I want to discuss for now, and again, I really do want to stress to the RWBY fans, please, please, please show patience and consideration for Kerry, the writing team, and everyone else who wants to be a part of this RWBY team once more in terms of the production wise. Just be patient as we wait for the next update and again for Volume 10. It is great that we finally have a direction and a route now, and not just speculation. There is no talk about reboots or a whole new series. This is the ongoing chapters that we have been desperately wanting, but we now must remain patient, and I will remain patient. As much as I will also remain thankful that we did get this update, even if it is just a crumb form, because this is some kind of comfort that we need right now in regards to RWBY's future as a whole. I do hope that we do get some other material, and be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments down below what you would like to see in terms of like other material before Volume 10. Would you like a character short? Would you like another novel? Something like that? Let me know in the comments down below, as well as your thoughts on this big news about Volume 10. Anyway, I'm gonna go lie down again now, and hopefully feel better the next time I talk about the show that we all love. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias in the links down below, and until next time, have a good day or good night, and peace out.